Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we got a nice little surprise in-game system mail on the season summary and how the new season is going to work a little bit more in detail than we previously had found out from the version 1.1 update patch notes mail that we ended up reading a few videos ago. So we're going to dive into this. I don't think this video is going to be too long, but I am going to break down what we're seeing here and then talk about what some of those implications are going to be. So it should be pretty good. I'm excited. Okay, without further ado, as always, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you sub, like, ring the notification bell, and if you want to join and be a part of our conversation, hit up the Discord. You can find a link to that in the pinned comment description right down below. Okie dokie, here we go. So let's start top down, right? Again, this is season summary, a new season just came out a few hours ago. This finally gives us the confirmation that we've always been waiting for, which is that the new season will start soon, accessible to lords and servers 1 through 4. So it confirms that they are in fact going to be merging 4 servers and they're not going to do a 2 and 2 split. For the first one, it says the new season will take place in Tamaris again. In the meanwhile, we have been bending over backward to create new contents. So this is cool, right? Hopefully that maybe means that we might get some new events and then other pieces of content in other areas. As they've alluded to with doing some kind of differences and changes with how you can kind of go about scouting some of the kind of neutral areas, whether that's villages, if that's caves, if that's finding just the random loot areas as well on the map. And then the next one here is a brand new map. This is pretty big. A brand new map will be available when Season 2 is officially launched. That is cool to me. Now, who knows if it's going to be, we're talking brand new terrain. We don't know, maybe they're going to do kind of a winter, summer theme, woodsy theme. Who knows, right? But the fact is that you're at least getting a newish type of map that will vary and be different, just depending on how much, from the current map. That to me is pretty cool. I like the fact that they're giving you a new map. I would imagine that doing a new map can't be, I don't want to say that difficult, right? It feels like if you at least have the foundation, kind of the blueprint structure for the map you've already done, then you can kind of make changes and variances where appropriate, right? As long as you have a good foundation set. So to me, I think that's really exciting that you're going to be able to play on a brand new map along with everything else they're giving you. It says, during the new season, you will need to reselect your affiliated region. This is a big one, though, the next line. Please note that beginners' relocation items won't be granted at the start of the new season. And this is key, right? There's two parts here. It's not going to be granted at the start of the new season, but it could be granted later, right? Now, whether that is them just alluding to Augerstone when you finally get to that, and I'm forgetting which one specifically it is, but when you finally get to that task or tier or Augerstone state where you can actually move. I think it's Lightbearer. Let me double check here. Yeah, so Lightbearer, which is the 6th to the last Augerstone, and that's the one where it'll let you move cross regions. Will be open for you to do. So they could be alluding to that, or maybe it's an item will eventually come up later, but just not at the start. And then you also don't get any beginner relocation items, which means that if you do want to move, right, you're going to have to apply resurgence, which means 80% of your troops are going to go to the hospital, your policies are going to be reset, and then you're going to get 50% back on your prestige. So again, it's a decent hit that you'll take that early on. And this really means a few things, right? It means that alliances and kingdoms are going to have to be very selective with which regions they're going to start in. My recommendation for this is that alliances and kingdoms should be reaching out to others and trying to figure out which zone 1 out of the 7 zone 1 provinces they plan to start in. This would ensure, right, a higher percentage chance of success, because it means that at least at minimum you might be able to have one kingdom's worth of alliances start out in one province, or at least have one province, and then you kind of have the other 3 that are a little bit up for grabs. However, I'm sure it's probably not going to exactly work out that way. So, that's just the thing. I mean, you're just going to, you won't be as punished, right, early on. Let's be very clear, because when you're just starting over, your policies are reset anyways. The one thing I do think carries over, I want to say, is troops, because from what I understand, I'm just looking on one of my other ones here so I can double check this. Season, let's do season overview. Yeah, see, there's nothing mentioned here about troops. So that is something to keep in mind is that, however many troops you have, that seems to carry over from one season to the next. So you would actually take a hit on troops. The only one you really wouldn't take another hit on would be your policies, which, just because they're already reset, it really wouldn't be that big of a deal. So yeah, it's just things to think about, right? It really just means that your initial province selection is going to be that much more important, is really where we're going with that. And then we get to, right, only lords in the same affiliated region can create an alliance together. Make sure you confirm beforehand. And then we got number 2 here, which is the current alliances alongside, current alliances will be erased during the new season. We know that. Alongside alliance territories, buildings, alliance chats, lords from servers 1 through 4 will join the same world chat. Okay. This won't affect custom chats, private chats, and friends. Oh, that's pretty cool. So those things will actually be intact. That is nice to know. Which means, if you have custom chats, such as, from what it looks like, if you have a custom alliance chat, that's maybe something for villages, right, that people post coordinates for those, or if it's a PvP chat for posting coords for players, or something to that extent, then those things won't go away, which is nice. Then we have number 3, which is the Mist will once again veil the map. Stages and Behemoth's ownership will be reset. All alliance territories and buildings will be erased. You will need to restart exploration challenges and construction. Right, so we know that. And the last one here is for more seasonal info. Please check the Augur Stone. Please note that some of the items will also be reset. Please use them before the new season starts. So that pretty much rounds this out, right? This wasn't gonna be the longest video explanation. However, I do think some of the important parts here, and I know we touched on this a little bit covering number 1, is that this to me is a big one, right? It is really going to be interesting on selection, on Zone 1 province selection for any of the alliances and or multiple alliances, right, for those that are going to be able to retain their unity moving into Season 2. And then how that's going to play out. Because you can get into situations where you might have multiple alliances from different kingdoms all end up in the same province, and then you kind of get the Server 2 Kaltia thing going on, right, where you had a few big alliances there that were kind of just going back and forth at it. So that's going to be something that will be interesting to watch and to see how that plays out. As I know, at least for me, I'm going to be trying to unfog, ASAP Rocky as soon as I can, to get as much coverage as possible. I might even do it where I might have to just have my alts go into different provinces so that way we can search. Because I'm pretty sure, and I have to see, let me check this real quick. I'm pretty sure from what they updated, right, you have to wait until you can fog out to other, let me see where they have this set. Yeah, see? So you have to wait until the 4th Augur Stone. That's Arrows of Redemption. It says once this chapter ends, right, your scouts will be able to pass through level 1 passes and explore beyond your Zone 1 province. So, again, we're going to have to wait for that to end. And that's where 20 giant bear lairs must be occupied across Tamaris by the end of the countdown. So you could already be getting some fighting, right, happening prior to that for the first behemoth lair. But but again, right? I mean, you might miss some action. I don't think. Hopefully, it's not going to be a lot, and we'll of course try to cover as much as we can. But just so some people are aware on how that works as far as when that will open up, and that's really going to be my objective here is to try and be able to kind of cover and give you guys, as much news, as much breaking. I mean, it's going to be awesome. I am really excited to see how Season 2 is going to play out with the merge, and I think this is hopefully going to be the first big test to see how viable and how well the merging of 4 servers at a time will work, right? It kind of what behests me, if that's the right word choice here, to look at how the developers came in with this game plan to do merges and to do certain things the way they are, because when you're comparing it against something like Rock, right, with obviously the similarities is that there's clear differences, unique differences that they are trying to separate between what we're seeing in Call of Dragons and what we've been seeing in Rise of Kingdoms. And I think the fact that they are doing it in what can only be perceived thus far as a well thought out way is interesting. And I think that alone, right, deserves our quality of attention, our patience, and our willingness to step outside of our comfort zone and see if this is something that will work and can sustain itself for a long period of time. So, for all of those reasons and more, I am excited to see how season 2 is going to play out with the 4 Kingdoms. I mean, it's from what we've been seeing, and I'm going to have to make another video on this because the official COD Discord for general chat has just been popping off, and so I'm probably going to end up doing a video on that. It's been bananas. But that, I think, alone has piqued a lot of people's interest, and so season 2 is just going to be, hopefully, will be awesome, just in a lot of different ways. With that in mind, that's it for me today. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and anything we touched on, on my views, my thoughts, my opinions. Right, I'd love to hear if you agree, you disagree, do you feel something else. Right, let me know in the comments down below. That is going to be it for me. As always, until next time, I will catch you later.